Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at GCNlive.com.
This is your call to action. Get prepared, America. Economy, survival, energy, disasters. This is USAPrepares.com. Informative radio, educational radio. Interact now by emailing instructor@USAPrepares.com or text at 434-390-7953. Class, please take your seats. Now, your instructor, Vincent Finelli.
Watch the greenbacks tumble.
Everyone all set, cocked, locked, blissed? Here we go. Your dial set correctly to USAPrepares.com. We're broadcasting 2 hours live. And John is engineering the broadcast at the Genesis Communications Network in Minnesota. Dr. Norman Shealy's with us. Welcome, Dr. Norman Shealy.
Good morning, Vince. Missed you last week.
Yes, Dr. Shealy, I was traveling all as well. You know, when I'm not available live for broadcast, we get calls from all over the country and even abroad, and people are concerned that, has Vinny been captured by the blue team? And so far...
Are overblessed.
Yeah, so far Vinny has not been captured by the blue team. Class, if you'd like to get more of Dr. Norman Shealy, you can get to his website, normshealy.com, NORMSHEALY.com. Dr. Shealy is a medical doctor and a broadcaster. Dr. Shealy, you're on the air as well. Can you tell us how we can get to your latest broadcast?
Well, the next one is this afternoon at 2 p.m. Central Time on Healthy Living Radio. And the phone number is 800-555-5453. And then, of course, I'm going to be gone starting tomorrow morning for 2 weeks. I'm going off, sorry to say, to Costa Rica and Puerto Rico.
Mm-hmm.
But Julie will be covering my KWTO one tomorrow afternoon, but unfortunately she's not available for the next 2 weeks. I sent you an email about that.
Okay. All right. Very good. So you will not be with us for the following 2 Wednesdays, and Julie Penick will not be as well, correct?
Exactly.
Okay. Very good. I hope you have a wonderful time traveling. Are you speaking?
Oh, yeah. I don't hardly ever travel if I'm not speaking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give a training workshop at Peace University in Costa Rica. I didn't even know there was such a thing, but they invited me some months ago, and I said, yeah, I'll come if I could come in winter.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be doing 3 days of work, but I'll be there for 8 days, so I'll have a little fun.
That sounds wonderful. If any of our broadcast classroom would like to join you, do they have time to get to your class or not?
Oh, yeah. They can get in touch with Bobette and register for it. 855-329-2124. And then I fly back to Puerto Rico from Costa Rica, where I'm doing another 3-day workshop at one of the local hospitals.
Okay, and is that for just hospital staff only?
No, it's open to anyone, in and around Puerto Rico, I imagine. I doubt anybody. Well, who knows what might want it. Again, they could contact Bobette at 855-329-2124 if they were interested in a quick vacation in Puerto Rico.
Dr. Shealy, it's always great to hear your voice. I've got so many things I'd like to discuss with you today. And let me just run down a few of them. Bipolar, what is it? I'd like to talk about the world's heaviest man. He died, and it looks like one of the contributing factors was that he drank more than 6 energy drinks a day. I'd like to talk about multiple sclerosis, muscular dystrophy, the long-term effects of cannabis, what it's like trying to get a doctor's appointment. Can seafood reduce the risk of Alzheimer's? And restaurant food, E. coli, salmonella, what your thoughts are on eating out. And then I have a few lab reports from one of our class who would like me to discuss with you, without mentioning this person's name, some of the concerns as a result of the lab report, and I have some of the symptoms as well. So, and another question is that I'd like to talk about is, why are there more and more homosexuals appearing? What's going on? And hospitals are now forced to ration pain meds and antibiotics and life-saving medicines and post-traumatic stress disorder. Zika virus.
We're going to have a lot of talk about this too.
Yes, we do. And what would you like to talk about, Dr. Shealy?
Any and all. I love to talk when it's about health and medicine. So go for your number one.
Okay, why don't we start with bipolar? We hear the term that so-and-so is bipolar, has these wild mood swings from being, we'll call it normal, happy-go-lucky, to angry. What is that? Is it a medical thing? Is it psychosomatic? Is it treatable? First of all, let's talk about what is this bipolar.
Well, you had it quite right. These are people who swing from being hyperactive. Often they do foolish things. They splurge. They give away money they don't have. They become manic, so-called. Then they can swing from that into the depths of depression. And so this represents about somewhere between 5 and 10% of all depressed people. Now, to me, roughly 40% of Americans are depressed. So that means about 4% perhaps are truly bipolar. And as with all mood drugs, I don't like any drug for anything. For any mood thing. I think they all suck, and that's being kind. They increase the risk of suicide. They don't make you really happy. They can snow you if they give enough of it. And often they use huge doses of a form of lithium that can be quite toxic to your kidneys. You have to monitor it quite carefully. Now, seriously, I have, of course, worked with over 30,000 chronically depressed people, which means, I've probably seen a couple of thousand or so with bipolar. The difference is, even more than people who are just, quote, just depressed, bipolars are severely deficient in magnesium. And, for instance, in the manic phase, if I can get them to lie still or sit still for an hour, give them a couple of grams of magnesium chloride intravenously, it'll bring them right out of the manic phase. It's very easy to do.
Is there a way that a person could self-treat with magnesium, as in your magnesium lotion, Dr. Shealy?
Well, of course, if they are focused enough to do it, yes, absolutely. It takes longer than it does IV, because it could take 2 to 4 weeks to restore your intracellular levels with a magnesium lotion. Nevertheless, it's definitely worth it, no question about it. Now, the other thing is, the other two major treatments for bipolar depression are the Liss cranial stimulator, which I know we've talked about off and on. Saul Liss was an engineer who brought me his device to test in 1975, and I have worked with it with over 30,000 people. It is a wonderful, remarkably safe, effective tool. In fact, since I'm leaving for a totally different time zone tomorrow, I will be using my Liss cranial stimulator, because what it does is reset your serotonin threshold. And serotonin is the normal, what I call bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, wake-up happy hormones. And when you travel to a different time zone, you need to change your thermostat, so to speak. So since 1975, I've used it when I travel significantly. It's very safe, and it is wonderful. And, of course, these people will also benefit tremendously from Air Bliss. Now, in the long run, they also need to have what I call retraining of the nervous system, because the bipolars usually start not later than teenage, although it can start in adulthood. And they need something like autogenic training, biogenics, the retraining of the nervous system, the calming and sedating normally, mentally. With this combination, I can cure bipolar safely without drugs.
So, Dr. Shealy, why is this happening? I'm trying to think back to elementary school. I don't remember ever hearing anybody being diagnosed as bipolar, and I don't remember hearing or seeing anyone having violent mood swings. Is this a new phenomenon? Is this the stress of modern life? Is this the toxins in the air? Is it the toxic food that we're eating? Do we know what's causing this?
Well, we don't. And, it doesn't usually occur until at least late teens. So you wouldn't have noticed it in growing up in school. There's just, I don't know that it's any more common now than it was 50 years ago. We know about it more than we did 50 years ago. But I don't think it's that much more common than it used to be. It's just that these things used to be kept quiet. People didn't talk about them. You got rid of those people and put them away. In fact, until Thorazine came along about 1949 or 50, they were put in mental institutions.
Yeah, and isn't that amazing that magnesium chloride could be the answer for the problem, and we use mental institutions. Dr. Norman Shealy is with us, medical doctor. I'm Vince Finelli. This is USAPrepares.com. We'll be right back after these few short commercial announcements.
How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Are you sneezing, coughing, and aching? Do you have a sore throat, a fever, or the sniffles? There's no reason to be sick this cold and flu season with immune system support from Supernatural Silver. Supernatural Silver can give your body the help it needs to fight off harmful pathogens without hurting beneficial gut flora and without leaving behind resistant bacteria. Antibiotics can damage good microflora and often leave behind bacteria which can cause problems later on. If you're sick of being sick, try Supernatural Silver. Supernatural Silver, the #1 choice of thousands for a safe and effective way to protect against the many diseases and illnesses that we are facing today. Go to supernaturalsilver.com, read our customer reviews, and see the life-changing results that people are having. That's supernaturalsilver.com. Supernaturalsilver.com. Use the promo code PROTECTED for 20% off your entire order. and like us on Facebook. Supernatural Silver.
No other network provides the level of customer service we do. When it comes to radio advertising, we are your one-stop shop. And no matter how big or small your business is, we can help. Email us at advertise@gcnlive.com, and an experienced advertising executive will help you take the first step towards driving more customers to your business or website. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows, pause and rewind live TV, even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
Are you looking to sell body armor? Want to make extra money selling body armor at your local gun shows? With low minimum buys and great returns, Katie Armor is the answer. Make money in your spare time. It's American-made body armor with the quickest turnaround in the industry, which means you get your product when you need it at very competitive rates. And they'll ship it to you for free. If you own a business, give them a call today at 855-488-KATIE. That's 855-488-2284. Or go to katiearmor.com. Come and take it.
Plus, Dr. Shealy's with us, Norm Shealy. And Dr. Shealy's a medical doctor, and I have a question about cancer. Dr. Shealy, we've talked about this many times over the years, and I am hearing more and more stories from people who have family members, close family members with cancer. For example, I was having lunch yesterday, and one of our friends said that he was talking about one of his very close relatives who had lung cancer, skin cancer, liver cancer, one after the next, in a single person. And I'm hearing more stories about people who are dying of cancer. And I'm thinking about the rat race that we live in. I think about the traffic that some people, where you and I are, typically we don't have a lot of traffic. There aren't many cars in front of us. But, out near Washington, D.C. and the East Coast, New York City, Chicago, L.A., traffic jams everywhere you go. And people are sitting, inhaling the exhaust of the car in front, behind, around, side by side. These toxic fumes are there, and then the heating systems, and then the incineration plants and so forth, the coal-fired power plants. The list goes on, and these toxic exhausts go into the air, and then the particles come down, they get into the water supply, and they get into the food that we grow in our gardens. Do you think that plus the stress, plus the electromagnetic radiation, plus the radiation from, let's say, Fukushima, Chernobyl, 3 Mile Island, and all these other atomic tests, is that it? Are we seeing the cumulative effect of our own experimentation, and have we designed our own extinction?
And you left out poison in general.
Yeah,
like on Satan and Roundup.
Yeah,
and all the 550,000 other chemical poisons that are released into the environment every year. Yeah, it in general, although there are some people who have a genetic predisposition, a weakness, if you will, of some part of the immune system, it is total stress, total toxicity that is the major cause of cancer. And
does that correlate to this bipolar syndrome that we've been talking about for the first part of this broadcast. What I'm talking about is the stress. Some people have a lot of stress in their jobs, and I believe that most of stress, as far as I've seen in my working life when I had a job, was related to the job, and that was related to the people who were around me. By that I mean the boss would say, Vinny, do this, and you'll be working with this team of people. And their incompetence, their unwillingness to, do the job with me caused stress for me, because the job, I felt, well, the boss said we have to do it, so we have to do it. And even if these other guys aren't pulling their own weight, it was still something that I had to accomplish with or without them. So their inability or non-willingness to work with the team caused stress. And I have a feeling that that's something that is everywhere in every job. There are people who are competent, there are people who are not competent, there are people who are just there trying to skate by. Is that part of our problem, Dr. Shealy, the stress of work?
Yes. But, interestingly, Vince, Osler, Sir William Osler, who's known as the father of American medicine, over 110 years ago, listed stress as a major cause of disease. So even before we got to where we are, people already, 110 years ago, we're living an excessively stressful life. But then I just finished reading one of the most remarkable books that I've ever read in my life, Augustus. It's an historical novel with the facts of history being extremely correct, but, a lot of the talk is wonderfully written fiction. But if you look back 2,000 years ago, the Roman times, when they were at the height of their imperialism, were stressful as hell. And people don't seem to be able to be sane enough to avoid unnecessary stress.
Going into another commercial. No shortage of commercials here. We'll be right back.
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective, multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today. Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug-out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
This is a healthcare alert from the Pain Relief Hotline. If you, a family member, or a loved one suffers from knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain and have Medicare as your primary insurance, we've got great news. You don't have to suffer any longer. You can immediately qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you by calling our 24/7 Pain Relief Hotline at 866-389-0620. Delivery is free and all paperwork is handled for you. If you are on Medicare and have knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain, don't wait. You can qualify to immediately receive a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost by calling our 24/7 Pain Hotline now at 866-389-0620. Our representatives are standing by 24/7 to take your call and rush you your pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you. Shipping is free and all paperwork is handled for you. Just call 866-389-0620. That's 866-389-0620. Again, 866-389-0620.
If survivalist housing has been in your plans, get ready. We're bringing our Timberline range camps to you February 6th through 14th at the Great American Outdoor Show in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Get an up-close look at some of our most popular Timberline models or visit survivalistcamps.com to pre-order a camp. We'll bring it to the show and save you the cost of shipping. It's the perfect time to get that camp you've wanted. Go to survivalistcamps.com, then plan on joining us at the Great American Outdoor Show in February in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
We all know that Berkey Water Purification Systems are the most trusted name in water filtration. As an authorized Berkey dealer for over 6 years and serving thousands of satisfied customers, the Berkey Guy offers amazing specials for Berkey Water Filtration Systems. The Berkey Light Systems include a set of self-sterilizing and recleanable black purification elements that purify water by removing chlorine, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, and parasites to non-detectable levels and remove harmful chemicals such as herbicides and pesticides. Order the Berkey Light System today, complete with 2 black Berkey elements for only $231, and the Berkey Guy will ship your order free of charge. With the purchase of a Berkey Light, the Berkey Guy is also offering a set of fluoride and arsenic filters for only $39.99. That's over 30% off the retail price. Call the Berkey Guy at 1-877-886-3653. That's 1-877-886-3653. Or order online at goberkey.com. That's goberkey.com today.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states.
Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
Do you have difficulty taking supplements? Are you searching for a high-quality, complete nutritional drink that your whole family will love? NutriMedical's Life Support has arrived. All of your daily nutritional requirements in one quick, delicious drink. Dr. Bill Deagle's Life Support is a proprietary blend of vegan protein, activated vitamins, essential minerals, amino acids, probiotics, green tea, digestive enzymes, anti-inflammatories, cancer prevention, detoxification, and much more. Your body will high-five you for this one. Life Support is the best complete nutritious meal replacement on the market. Whether you are an elite athlete, have post-operative challenges, chronic illness, elderly, or a family that just wants a quick, delicious drink, try Dr. Bill Deagle's Life Support for optimized nutrition in one great-tasting smoothie. Just add cold water, almond milk, fruit, or anything else you like. NutriMedical's Life Support. Try our great-tasting chocolate or vanilla today. Call 888-212-8871 or visit us online at NutriMedical.com. NutriMedical.com for the whole family.
Class, Dr. Shealy's with us. And Dr. Shealy, I was reading an article on the internet, and it said cannabis may result in the long-term effects of reducing our vocabulary as we get into middle age. So cannabis, according to this article, may reduce our ability to use the vocabulary that we once had. That sounds to me like cannabis would be causing deterioration of our brain or brain damage. Am I reading that correctly, Dr. Shealy?
You are reading correctly, and you are correct. In my opinion, marijuana, I don't care what else you call the weed, marijuana, grass, the weed, it causes a frontal lobotomy chemically. I have known too many people who've gotten, really lost a lot of IQ smoking cannabis. There is no circumstance under which I consider it worth considering.
Okay, and I'm certainly not recommending that any of our class smoke marijuana in any way, shape, or form. I'm not doing that. We don't do it at our household. But there's so many people who do. And are we saying, Dr. Shealy, that it lowers our IQ as well?
Oh, yes. They go together. You need the frontal lobes to have your IQ work properly. And it damages other things, of course, but it's primarily, the frontal lobes are where our ability to discriminate and make logical, concrete choices, etc., occur. And if they're damaged, a lot of other things are damaged also.
There you have it. That is Dr. Shealy's medical advice to you and opinion that you can lower your IQ by smoking or using cannabis. Dr. Shealy, I have noticed in my travels of late that I am encountering more and more homosexuals. People who don't seem to have, these macho in males, these macho trends. I'm learning that more and more people whom I encounter, females, are homosexual as well. Is this something that is a medical issue, or is this something that you think might be just a choice, or is this I'm hearing from young people that they know young women who have said, you know what, I can't take these men anymore. They aren't men. They're flaky, and so I gave up on men, and I'm just going women for women now. And what do you think it might be, Dr. Shealy?
Well, I don't know, and nobody knows. Let's face it, Event. Certainly, I don't know as much about cows, although I have seen some homosexual behavior with cattle. Certainly in horses, you see it. It has always been around. Now, if you are a believer in the Illuminati, the Committee of 300, there are several books that insist that part of their agenda has been increasing dissolution of the family, and that they have extremely promoted the idea that led eventually to, what's happened now, homosexual marriage. But if you go back in Greek history, it was extremely common in ancient Greek for men to have homosexual relationships with young teenagers. And it was certainly not uncommon in the Roman time. So it's always been around. What has happened in the last 100 years, especially the last 60, I think, is the removing the usual common social inhibitions against it, so that it's almost become like racism. You're a racist. You're a homophobe if you don't accept it. But there's some aspect of it which has always been around. Now, there's also some evidence that a lot of the chemical pesticides, petroleum-related products, etc., and some of the genetic modifications have increased markedly the estrogenic effects of in our environment, so that sperm count, for instance, in men has gone down from an average of 150 million to 50 million. And interestingly, you become sterile when you get to between 20 and 25 million as a sperm count. So the whole human race is on the verge of becoming infertile male-wise, and still does, I think, as far as I can tell, still take a male to impregnate an ovum. So there are many, many factors, but a lot of them are socio-political.
Okay. And Dr. Shealy, I remember working with some homosexuals, back in the 1980s. And this was, they weren't openly homosexual. They were, closet homosexuals. But I noticed that this particular, these two men were very, very bright extremely intelligent. Is there like a is it possible that some homosexuals are more intelligent as a trade-off for their traditional sexuality?
Well, there have been historically, it has been said that Michelangelo, for instance, was homosexual, and obviously he was one of the great geniuses of all time. A number of poets and artists have been known to be homosexual. So there may be some relationship, but I don't know any scientific studies with IQs, if you will, showing an increased IQ with homosexuality.
Okay, and since we're talking about IQ, I was thinking about the guy at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, Barack Obama.
You're talking about low IQs now.
Well, that's Dr. Shealy. You hit the nail right on the head. Was that's what I was going to mention. And I was thinking, is this the best and brightest we have? This guy has to read from not one teleprompter, but he has to have two teleprompters in case the first one fails, so he can continue saying whatever he's programmed to say. And I'm very serious about this question. Is it possible? Some people say he's really, really bright. I would have to disagree based on what I've seen of him through the media. Is it possible that our president is really not a very bright guy? I mean, literally not a bright guy.
Well, I think our president is a pimp for the Committee of 300 of the so-called Illuminati evil empire, and I don't think his IQ matters to them. They put him up, they made him what he is, and in my opinion, I doubt his IQ is above 90.
Now, are you being?
I'm being kind.
Are you being serious about that?
Yeah.
Okay. Because that's exactly what I was thinking. I didn't pick that number. I was thinking of a number higher than 70 because either. Well, it doesn't look like he's wearing Depends. So I think that you have to have an IQ of 70 to be continent. So I was figuring he was at least above 70, but I was thinking below 100. I really was.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I would say his true human, the human personality is a part of IQ. And I would say his human IQ is 0.
No challenge from me on that. Dr. Shealy, when I was growing up, I heard over and over a couple things. Smoking causes cancer. Another thing I heard was seafood, fish is brain food. Is there any truth to that?
Well, the reason for that would be the omega-3 fatty acids. Mm-hmm. There is an increased omega-3 in sea fish, and there's no question that is extremely good for brain function.
Okay. Well, omega-3s I do consume. Fish I very rarely consume. Something about eating fish is something that's very difficult for me to. Maybe it's that eye that looks back at you when you look at a piece of fish being ready to be cut up. Dr. Shealy, multiple sclerosis. I was having lunch with a friend yesterday, and multiple sclerosis and muscular dystrophy both came up. Can we talk about multiple sclerosis, what it is, and what the symptoms are, and is there a treatment for multiple sclerosis?
Well, multiple sclerosis, of course, has been known for a long, long time. It is considered an autoimmune disease in which the immune system, in this case, is attacking the brain or the spinal cord. And we're finish that after this brief break.
Yeah, just a few short commercial announcements, and we'll be back. Dr. Norman Shealy's with us, medical doctor, normshealy.com, and you can subscribe to the same newsletter I get at normshealy.com. It's absolutely free. We'll be right back.
By now you know that usaprepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
Are you worried about your mom or dad living alone in their house? Hi, I'm Joan London. Listen, I know how difficult it is to find senior care for someone you love. That's why I recommend a free service called A Place for Mom. They are the nation's largest senior living referral service. Call A Place for Mom today.
To receive free information on senior living communities in your area, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-704-6182.
A Place for Mom offers free one-on-one advice from local advisors and a personalized list of senior living communities you can visit. If you have questions about senior care for your mom or dad, there's a place for answers, A Place for Mom.
Call A Place for Mom in the next 10 minutes to get your free ebook on financing senior care as well as free information on senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-704-6182. That's 1-800-704-6182.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a Select Quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I impartially shopped the highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $26 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 1-800-403-4885. That's 1-800-403-4885. 1-800-403-4885. Or go to SelectQuote.com. We shop, you save. Get full details in the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
The savings are heating up at Lumber Liquidator's Spring Flooring Kickoff Sale. Our stores are now packed with the latest trends from our new catalog, like the hot look of gray flooring. This week, get 20% off reclaimed gray wood look tile. And check out popular hand-scraped styles like High Sierra Pine. Or choose from other varieties of solid hardwood, all up to 20% off. Get great deals on over 35 styles of bamboo from $149 and more from just 49 cents. Plus, 18-month special financing. For the best deals on over 400 floors, visit lumberliquidators.com to find a store near you today.
Control, do you like mortgages? Negative. Over. Do you like rockets? Affirmative. Over. Do you like rocket mortgages? I'm listening. Over. Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans is the first on-demand mortgage machine that turns the entire mortgage process into a fast, powerful, completely online experience. Copy that, QL1. I'm going to go ahead and push this button in. 3, 2, 1. Rocket Mortgage at QuickenLoans.com. Push button, get mortgage.
Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS Consumer Access.org number 3030.
owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Get on board with the Tax Admiral. Don't take on the IRS alone. I'll cut penalties and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company helping people clean up their mess with the IRS.
If you owe $10,000 or more, then call the Tax Admiral.
Call 800-287-7180. Again, that's 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180.
We've been talking about multiple sclerosis with Dr. Norman Shealy. It's an autoimmune disease, and it affects the brain and spinal cord. Dr. Shealy?
It can affect any part thereof. Therefore, the symptoms are some kind of damage to the central nervous system. It can, there are major three, more or less, types of multiple sclerosis. One is which people may have one episode, often associated with blindness, and recover. And they may never have another episode. Then there's the ones who have an episode and recover, but have another episode and recover, and another episode. And so they have intermittent, but gradually go down. And then finally, there are those who never recover from the first episode and just go downhill with more and more neurologic damage. There is no question that the incidence has increased because of Monsanto again. Roundup appears to damage all types of the body, all autoimmune diseases, not just multiple sclerosis. So that's part of it. There's also some relationship to climate, so that it's more common in the north than in the south, and that's to some extent because of lack of adequate sunshine and lack of vitamin D. So it's a very complex disease. There is no excellent treatment for multiple sclerosis. There is a project going on at the University of Wisconsin in which they're using electrical stimulation. My old friend TENS, or transcutaneous electrical nerve stimulation, they're using actually on the tongue, and claim to getting excellent results with a number of neurologic diseases, including MS and Parkinsonism. So, but there's no drug that's really good. There is a drug or two, but they're at best mediocre.
Okay, Dr. Shealy, we have Chris in Colorado on with us. Welcome, Chris.
Hi, Dr. Shealy.
Howdy.
Hey, are you going to be doing your Healthy Living show today?
I will be doing my Healthy Living show today.
Okay, beautiful. I'll call you then.
What? Okay, thanks, Chris.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Chris. That was Chris Farnworth, a USA Preparedness instructor in Colorado. Dr. Shealy, so that was multiple sclerosis. What about muscular dystrophy?
That's totally different.
What is that?
That is a genetic disease, generally, almost exclusively, and it's passed down generation to generation, somewhat more common in males than females, and it literally is a disease in which the muscles themselves deteriorate and quite progressive, and can involve essentially every muscle group in the body.
Do we know what the origins might be that or contributing factors? Is it again toxins? Is it again Monsanto? Do we know that?
No, we don't have any good evidence for it to be that influenced by environment. Now, let's face it, genes certainly can be damaged by toxicity, and so you can therefore get a child, and it usually does come on in childhood, some of them not till late teens, but in general, something happened to the gene, and yet you'll find a family when there's no known history for several generations. So obviously, it can develop de novo, so to speak. I think it is one of the most frustrating diseases because there is, again, no known treatment whatsoever that is beneficial for muscular dystrophy.
I've been talking about muscular dystrophy. Dr. Norman Shealy and I will be right back after top of the hour news and commercial announcements. And I've got a series of lab pages that I'd like to review with Dr. Shealy from one of our class. And I'd like to talk about what these results are and what they might mean for this person's health. So please stay tuned to usaprepares.com with Dr. Shealy and me. We'll be right back.
How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
You haven't experienced yogurt until you've tried a Mossy, embodying health and flavor in a true whole milk, green-fed dairy beverage. Every sip pays homage to our old world cows and the ancient culturing methods their milk benefits from. With over 30 probiotics, a Mossy's undeniably nutritious, refined, cultured sensation bolsters your health and awakens your passion for dairy. A Mossy's so good, and you need to try it. Contact your Youngevity distributor or call 877-878-4203 or go to gcnteam.com.
Ted Anderson telling you about Jordan Rubin's Beyond Organic Green-Fed Raw Cheddar Artesian Cheese featuring whole milk created through ancient dairy breeding, unpasteurized, untreated whole milk on the same farm the cows graze, containing natural sources of omega-3s, CLA protein, calcium, probiotics, and enzymes. I have never tasted cheese this good, and you need to try it. Contact your Youngevity distributor or call 877-878-4203 or go to gcnteam.com.
By now you know that wireless technology like cell phones do in fact pose dangers to the health and privacy of everyone. Blockit Pocket's wide range of products are unmatched in providing the protection you deserve. No scare tactics, just common sense. BlockitPocket.com offers quality American-made options to alleviate and eliminate these invisible dangers. Learn more at BlockitPocket.com or call 888-315-9618. BlockitPocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
I'm Jesse Gonzalez, Vice President at Kmart. Did you know that premature birth is the #1 killer of babies in the United States, or that survivors can face a lifetime of serious health problems? But you can help. Join me in Kmart for the March for Babies Walk. We'll work together to raise funds for research and programs that help the Marchionines fight premature birth and birth defects and improve the health of moms and babies. Start your team today at marchforbabies.org.
Everyone all set, cocked, locked? Hour number 2 of usaprepares.com. Today, 2 hours with Dr. Norman Shealy, medical doctor at normshealy.com, NORMSHEALY.com. Tomorrow, 2 hours with Dr. Richard Allen Miller, the real Fox Mulder of the X-Files. And Friday, 2 hours with Miles from Europe. We'll be talking about canon law and securing your assets and the new business models in a crisis situation. And we've got Chris Farnworth in Colorado. Welcome, Chris Farnworth.
Gentlemen.
Good morning.
Hey, Dr. Shealy, I was listening to a show of yours from a couple years ago on that longevity show, and you were talking about telomeres, and you mentioned that you were growing your telomeres, and then your wife got very ill for a little while, and they actually shortened back up. And I was wondering if you could talk a little bit more about that. Is that implying it was like the psychology of going through that with your wife actually shortened your telomeres?
Yeah, I don't have any doubt that major stress, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, or whatever, has a powerful effect And yes, the 2 years of my wife's death and she lived 13 months from the time the diagnosis was made. And that first year and the year after, I lost telomeres significantly. But then they began to grow again. And I used to think that people should get over grief within 6 to 12 months. And you should get over the grieving part of it. Of course, the sadness never leaves, but you adjust to that kind of loss. But I've had other people who've had major injuries or major illnesses that came up who were having their telomeres grow quite nicely or regenerate, the way I prefer to think of. And then when a major illness came along, they shrank again. So everything affects everything, ultimately. Now, long term, we have found in 34 people that using electrical stimulation, 52 to 78 billion cycles per second, which is human DNA frequency, at a billionth of a watt, does lead to an average regeneration of 3.5%. Whereas ordinarily, with good health habits, they shrink 1%. Interestingly, over the last 2 years, they've also demonstrated an average regeneration of telomeres of 3.5% using what I call transcutaneous acupuncture, which is the application of essential oils to the specific acupuncture point. So both of these systems tend to assist in preventing excess shrinking of your telomeres and regeneration of them, but they don't prevent the shrinkage that could come from a major shock.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting. They're kind of like a marker of your general health and life.
Oh, yes. No question about it. Now, the interesting thing is that when I started doing this in 2006, I had just completed work on regeneration or restoration of the normal biochemical, the three most important biochemicals that I think are related to your health and longevity. That is DHEA, or dehydroepiandrosterone, calcitonin, and free radicals. And I had proven that stimulating specific acupuncture circuits could raise DHEA, raise calcitonin, or lower free radicals. And that's when I came to the conclusion that if we could keep those three biochemicals optimal, we would extend life. And indeed, that seems to be true. We could do it with total body stimulation electrically, with the electrical stimulation of the specific acupuncture points of those three circuits, or with the use of essential oils of those three circuits.
Wow. Amazing. As you may recall, Dr. Shealy, I called into your Healthy Living show last week, and I told you about my discovery about tachycardia.
Yes.
Do you think I should repeat that here for Vincent's listeners?
Oh, sure, of course.
Okay. Vincent, you have got a wide audience, and this is something I've had since I was 11 years old. I've got a nonspecific tachycardia. And it turns out that like 4% of humanity has little strange arrhythmias in their heart. And I've been struggling maybe once to 3 times a month since I was 11 years old with that. And my grandmother had it real bad. I think I got a genetic inheritance from my grandmother. And anyway, I read this wonderful book about dehydration by that Indian guy, and he just had this little random tip in the book near the end about when you have a tachycardia attack. In other words, you have a heart arrhythmia that goes up to like 220 beats a minute. It's really in overdrive. And he said to simply put a little dab of salt on your tongue, drink a glass of water, put a dab of salt on your tongue, and then drink another glass of water if you need to like sort of wash the salt down. I just drank 1 glass of water, put a dab of salt on my tongue, and this sort of syrupy, salty energy, if you will, went down my throat, and when it got down where it felt like it was around my heart, boom, it stopped, just like that. And those of your audience that have tachycardia, I highly recommend you try this.
Dr. Shealy?
Safe, Chris. And I think if I remember correctly, you used Himalayan salt.
Yeah, I did. Yep.
I do recommend that because it does have trace minerals.
Right, but this is once a month kind of, it's not really a nutritional thing,
Right, no.
Yeah.
Dr. Shealy, do you think it's because the salt, the saliva, and the water produce an electrolyte that the body needs? Do you think it's that through the rapid absorption through the lining of the mouth tissues?
I think it's more some kind of reflex that's taking place probably between the mouth and the esophagus. You remember that all of this, your internal organs like this, have tremendous nerve supply. And I suspect that the swallowing mechanism, the salt, is stimulating something between the back of your mouth, or top of your throat, and the esophagus, but I'm not sure.
And Chris, can you tell us the procedure one more time so that we're absolutely clear on what to do?
Yeah, sure, Vincent. Again, I want to emphasize, I've been doing this stuff my whole life. This isn't a quirk. I know what I'm talking about. And it's I got it out of that book. Unfortunately, I don't have the title of the book memorized, but it's that book on dehydration. But basically, you just drink a glass of water. And I discovered myself, a friend of mine is a neurologist, and I discovered myself over the years that if you lay down and breathe a certain way, you can mitigate a tachycardia attack. And I did that for years and years. And my neurologist friend told me that there was actually in the medical journals that they had actually acknowledged what I discovered on my own about the breathing technique, which I thought, of course, was really neat. Here I discovered this thing on my own through my own intuition, and it worked. And it was actually discovered independently in medical journals. So I thought, wow, I've got this figured out. But sometimes, depending on what's going on, like I pull a lot of all-nighters for working, and, I really push hard in life. And if I'm out of shape, these tachycardia attacks can get much worse. And this one was the worst one I had in like 3 years. It was unbelievable. This one was going to go on for like another hour and a half, which, you can imagine, some people can't imagine their heart going at 220. But, if you stand up too quick, you can pass out, because the way I look at it is your heart's sort of cavitating. You're really not pushing your blood the way you should. It's like, it's kind of like a pump cavitating is the way I think of it. And I was just laying there going, oh, geez, I'm going to have to lay here for a long time trying my little breathing technique, And then it came to me after about an hour of my heart racing like this. I thought, wow, that's right, I forgot about this. So I just went, even though my heart was pumping, I sat up in my car seat and drove to the health food store, bought some Himalayan salt, drank a glass of water, put just a pinch of salt, just enough so you can really taste it on my tongue. And I didn't believe it was going to work because, I've been living with this my whole life. And as that salty sort of resin trickled down my throat, as soon as it felt as if it was touching my heart, which obviously biomedically it didn't touch my heart, obviously, but it felt that way. As soon as it felt like it was touching my heart, it just stopped cold and returned to beating normally. And to me, it was, when I called Dr. Shealy, I was all excited, as you might recall, Norm.
Yes, of course. Well, I think it's a wonderful thing. I've been aware of Dr. Besnajian's book for many, many years, and he's right. Most people are underhydrated.
Yes. And that hey, let me tell let me continue a little bit more. My girlfriend is she's got real high blood sugar, and they want to put her on the diabetes meds. I read that book, and he claims in the book that, diabetes and blood sugar problems are due to dehydration. That's what he claims. So what I did is I put my girlfriend on a gallon a day of distilled water, and by day 3, her blood sugar went from 160 to below 99.
Darn good information, Chris. Thank you.
Chris Farnworth, thanks so much. Chris Farnworth is a USA Preparedness instructor in Colorado. He's been to the expo. Chris, thanks again.
Thank you, guys.
Right back. Thank you. We'll be back.
By now, you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
Hello, my name is Don Wiskin from HeartDrop.com, the distributors of Extendivite, the #1 heart drop that people have been raving about for years. Every February for the last 16 years, HeartDrop.com has had a Heart Month sale to help you stay heart healthy. For only $115 plus shipping and handling, you can get a 4-month supply of Extendivite in either liquid or capsule form to help you get started on your path to better health. Now is the time to stock up. Order what you need. Stay heart healthy all year with the #1 heart drop, Extendivite. To order your Extendivite, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822. Or visit our website, heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Attention USA Prepares listeners. When you're on the road or have limited data or Wi-Fi, now you can listen to USA Prepares unfiltered and untapped at no extra charge on this non-federal phone number, 1-605-477-3249. Try it now to listen to USA Prepares 24/7 at no extra cost or data charges. These are not on federal lines. These are lines located on Indian reservations off the grid. Call 1-605-477-3249. No smartphones or internet needed. To hear USA Prepares untapped and off the grid, just call 1-605-477-3249.
What would your life be like if you woke up each morning with new vitality, feeling better than you have in years, and you noticed a difference in your sleeping patterns, blood sugar levels, and had a sense of well-being overall? There's something that is changing thousands of people's lives, and you could be one of them. It's called Heart and Body Extract. Sharon Harris, co-creator of Heart and Body Extract, talks about the positive effects of Heart and Body Extract.
What happens with the formula Heart and Body Extract is it's giving the body the necessary vitamins, minerals, amino acids, enzymes, and phytonutrients so the body will heal itself. And yes, the body does have the ability to balance blood pressure, balance cholesterol, clean and unclog the arteries. It can also work on balancing the circulation for diabetics. So the body is an amazing thing. It simply needs some help so it has the tools to heal itself.
Heart and Body Extract gets results. To order your 2-month supply, call now, toll free at 866-295-5305. Order online at hbextract.com.
Water is the single most important thing your body needs, so you want to be sure it's the best for you and your family. Since 2005, thousands have depended on Berkey purified water. The Berkey Guy provides the lowest priced filtration systems in every size. For incredibly delicious water now and in an emergency, get to GoBerkey.com or call 877-886-3653. 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com.
Class, Dr. Shealy's with us, and Dr. Shealy, I'd like to, if we may, look at a some lab results, medical lab results of one of our class who will remain anonymous. This person is about 30 years old, plus
Male
or minus
female?
it's a female, 30-year-old female, plus or minus a couple years. And here are the symptoms: lower back pain, increased thirst, pain in the lower left-hand side of the abdomen at the belt line, sometimes slurred words without consuming alcohol, general fatigue, lack of ability to concentrate, headaches, and that's to name a few of the symptoms. And so I'm looking at this lab report was provided to me for our discussion on the air. Is it okay if we discuss the general lab results, Dr. Shealy?
Well, of course.
Okay. So here is a urinalysis, and the specific gravity was 1.021, and that seems to be within normal range, correct?
Yes.
Okay. pH 6.0.
Woo! 6.0?
6.0.
Okay.
Then the urine color was considered yellow, but the appearance was cloudy.
Okay.
And then ketones, there was a trace of ketones. And then occult blood is 3+.
Wow.
And then the white blood count, 11 to 30, where they say 0 to 5 would be the reference range. And then the red blood count is 3 to 10, where they say 0 to 2 would be the reference range. Then some mucus threads and a few bacteria. That is the routine urinalysis.
No blood test.
Yes, yeah. Okay. The cortisol level was 32, and normal is considered up to 19.4 in the morning and 11.9 in the evening. Let's see. Then there was a TSH. Now, I don't know what a TSH is.
Thyroid stimulating hormone.
Okay. That was, the value tested was 2.53.
Okay.
Then we have, a CBC with differential platelet. Can you describe what that test is for, Dr. Shealy?
Well, that's complete blood count. And that gives you your hemoglobin, your hematocrit, your red blood cells, the different kinds of white blood cells and platelets.
Okay. The white blood count was 8.6. The red blood count was 4.45. And I'm looking for other things that show up as high in this. Let's see. Monocytes, absolute, 1.0. Then, let's see. In the urine culture routine, there was the result was mixed urogenital flora, less than 10,000 colonies per milliliter. Vitamin D hydroxy, or vitamin D25 hydroxy. Now this one, the value was 17.6, but the reference range says 30 to 100.
Yeah, she's very low.
Very low, okay. And then, going to the rest of this, a CMP, complete metabolic panel. I'm looking for what appears to be anomalies there. One of them is, let's see, this is interesting. And I don't know what this is, EGFR, if non-African American. 116, it says it should be below 59. All right, and when we continue, I'll read the few remaining, and then maybe you can tell us what this person should do. Dr. Shealy and I'll be right back. We're looking at medical results, and maybe we can all learn something right here at usapreparedness.com. Norm Shealy and I will be right back after these few short commercial announcements.
Removing bad taste and odor from your drinking water is easy. Removing the bad stuff you don't taste is what ProPure does best. Water the way nature meant it to be. Clean, crisp, and refreshing. See the complete line of ProPure countertop, inline, gravity, and household water filtration products. Visit your authorized ProPure dealer or ProPureUSA.com. That's ProPureUSA.com or call 800-544-3533.
So you've got to take a state construction license exam or certification. Can't decide on what books or what chapters to study? Discover right now how you can eliminate unnecessary books and wasted study time. At contractorexam.com, our study materials zero in on state-required test topics in an effective, multiple-choice format. So whether you're a plumber, electrician, general contractor, or other construction-related trade, contractorexam.com will help get you prepared. Visit us at www.contractorexam.com today.
Hello?
Congratulations.
For what?
For losing all that weight. How'd you do it so fast?
ASAP.
ASAP what? What's that mean?
Are you ready to get as skinny as possible, as soon as possible, as simple as possible, and as sexy as possible?
I'm listening.
Then get with the ASAP program. It's real and it works. No smooth talk, no slick advertising, and no exaggerated claims of success.
I've got to know more.
Welcome to ASAP, as slim as possible. Whether you have 10, 20, or 50 pounds to lose, ASAP is your weight loss answer. ASAP targets the abnormal fat reserves and makes them available to be burned as fuel and contains no caffeine or hormones. Order ASAP at wholesale prices or join the team to share the business with others. Visit GCNteam.com or call 877-878-4203. GCNteam.com or call 877-878-4203. Lose weight and look great with ASAP, as slim as possible.
Are you looking to sell body armor? Want to make extra money selling body armor at your local gun shows? With low minimum buys and great returns, Katie Armor is the answer. Make money in your spare time. It's American-made body armor with the quickest turnaround in the industry, which means you get your product when you need it at very competitive rates. And they'll ship it to you for free. If you own a business, give them a call today at 855-488-KATIE. That's 855-488-2284. Or go to katiearmor.com. Come and take it.
Winter has just begun, and are you already tired of being cold? How would you like to never be cold again? This is Dale with Fortress Clothing, and I'm here to tell you, you will never be cold again with Fortress. If you're tired of freezing your butt off, elk hunting, sitting in a tree stand deer hunting, winter camping, fishing, ice fishing, no longer fear the cold. If you snowmobile, ski, snowboard, get Fortress. Sledding with the kids, shoveling the walks, shopping, or if you or your spouse get cold feet at home, get Fortress. If you're stuck outside working in the cold or find yourself in an emergency situation, get our winter bug out bag and you will never be cold again. Fortress is the answer, so quit complaining and go to fortressclothing.com. It's a mid-layer garment that goes with anything you want to wear. Enter coupon code RADIO and get 20% off any item. Go now while we still have inventory. FortressClothing.com.
Owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Get on board with the Tax Admiral. Don't take on the IRS alone. I'll cut penalties and reduce your overall tax bill. Sometimes I can even get it zeroed out completely.
We're an A-rated company helping people clean up their mess with the IRS.
If you owe $10,000 or more, then call the Tax Admiral.
Call 800-287-7180. Again, that's 800-287-7180. 800-287-7180.
What would your life be like if you woke up each morning with new vitality, feeling better than you have in years, and you noticed a difference in your sleeping patterns, blood sugar levels, and had a sense of well-being overall? There's something that is changing thousands of people's lives, and you could be one of them. It's called Heart and Body Extract. Sharon Harris, co-creator of Heart and Body Extract, talks about the positive effects of Heart and Body Extract.
What happens with the formula Heart and Body Extract is it's giving the body the necessary vitamins, minerals, amino acids, enzymes, and phytonutrients so the body will heal itself. And yes, the body does have the ability to balance blood pressure, balance cholesterol, clean and unclog the arteries. It can also work on balancing the circulation for diabetics. So the body is an amazing thing. It simply needs some help so it has the tools to heal itself.
Heart and Body Extract gets results. To order your 2-month supply, call now, toll free at 866-295-5305. Order online at hbextract.com.
Class Dr. Shealy's with us, and we're talking about a woman about 30 years old, 5'4" or so, about 130 pounds, pain in the left-hand side just above the belt line or around the belt line, back pain, thirst, sometimes slurred words without consuming alcohol, incredible thirst, and the remaining items of this these tests, the CMP, the complete metabolic panel. One anomaly is the alkaline phosphatase. S58 was the value there, and then vitamin B12 for a vitamin B12 and folate test was a value of 254. And the folate or folic acid serum was greater than 19.9. Those are the labs that I have in front of me.
Did they do a blood sugar?
I don't know.
Because it should have been at the top of the metabolic panel usually.
Okay, let me see that. Okay, metabolic panel. Okay, yes, glucose serum.
Yeah.
88.
Okay, so despite being in a highly stressful situation, as noticed by the cortisol elevation, and a clear-cut, significant kidney problem, which could account for the pain in the abdomen, she's got either nephritis. Well, she's got nephritis, which is an inflammation and/or infection of the kidney. That's one thing. The fact that she's got ketones means that she's borderline in excess acid in her blood, which they probably did not measure, but that's a special test. I can't be sure unequivocally, but I have a feeling this woman suffers from hypoglycemia. That would explain the episodes where she has slurred speech and that kind of thing. So my suspicion is that she's not diabetic. She has episodes of hypoglycemia. She has a great deal of some kind of stress, which could be whatever's happening causing the nephritis. Now, her alkaline phosphatase also suggests that her liver is having trouble with all of this. So she's got a pretty significant general disease. Again, the nephritis itself could be the only one, but my suspicion is that she is hypoglycemic, which means that she's having up and down blood sugars, and she needs careful medical help.
And the reason I'm involved in this, Dr. Shealy, is she's unable to get medical help. She's unable to see a doctor at this point. The closest she's gotten to a doctor is a physician's assistant. Is there a type of specialty that you would recommend that she see based
Family
on...
physician is excellent.
A family physician. Okay.
Where is she?
Right. Excuse me?
Where does she live?
She's on the East Coast.
Oh, okay. Well, there are so-called walk-in clinics in almost every city now. Mm-hmm. I would go to one of those because she does really need significant medical attention.
Mm-hmm. And do you believe that I believe you're talking about stress? Is that one of the major causes, you think, of this?
Well, every illness is associated with stress. It's stress, remember, it's physical, chemical, electromagnetic, psychological. I mean, there's many causes of stress. In her case, whatever it is, it's already gotten to the physical and chemical state.
Okay, I will pass that information on. Dr. Shealy, the world's heaviest man died at age 38 in Mexico. He was 980 pounds. And the reports that I read on the internet was that he consumed more than 6 energy drinks per day, and during the 3 days before his death. I met a woman yesterday who worked at a store, and she seemed really stressed, and she said, and I haven't had my Red Bull today, which is an energy drink. And I said, well, that's great. That's great that you haven't had one, and tomorrow I hope that you'll have this the same situation where you don't have a Red Bull tomorrow and then from now on. And Dr. Shealy, I guess the reason I'm mentioning this is that young people seem to feel the need to have these energy drinks in order to continue through their day. Are they shortening their lives?
Yes. Those things are serious. I saw a couple of years ago a young woman, I think 21 or 22, who came very close to dying from drinking 2 or 3 of those energy drinks a day while studying for exams. And it took me 3 months of very careful monitoring and assistance to get her back to normal. Incidentally, by the way, she's now about to graduate from nursing school, so you can recover from it, but it can kill you.
So is the plan just if you are consuming energy drinks, do you go cold turkey and just quit, or
No.
do you have to
cut one a day? Cut one a day till you get down to 1, and then go to 1/2 a day for 2 or 3 days, and then stop. That's the safest way.
Okay. And are they addicting, Dr. Shealy?
Well, it's hard to tell sometimes. You can certainly have significant withdrawal symptoms, which means addiction. They are at best habituating, and at worst addicting.
You know, I have in the past I've been in the truck driving long distances, and I've had cups of coffee to help maintain alertness, but I have never had the desire to go above that or beyond that. And I'm quite concerned when I see young people do that. Okay, so it is life-shortening, period, right?
Serious.
Okay. Dr. Shealy, I read an article a couple weeks ago about hospitals are being forced to ration pain medications, antibiotics, and life-saving drugs because of the difficulty in obtaining those drugs. And the reasons that I've read for some of these injectables being hard to get are because of the reduced production of them due to the lower profit margins relating to the manufacturing of some of these drugs. So that's one component of it. Another component is the contamination during the manufacturing of the drugs is causing problems. And then somehow metal particles are getting into these drugs during the manufacturing process. Now, how has this become a problem, Dr. Shealy? Do you have any feel for why? I can understand the profit motive. Greedy corporations are saying, you know what, who cares about these people who are dying of cancer, and it's too it's not profitable as profitable to make these drugs as other drugs. But what are your thoughts on that? I think it's almost criminal behavior.
Well, just my feeling is the pharmaco mafia is a major part of the evil empire, period, in the report. There's not a drug company in the world that I would trust to tell me the time of day.
Okay, and that leads us to the Zika virus and the microcephaly. And if I'm saying that right, I remember, Dr. Shealy, growing up with a friend who was hydrocephalic. And so his head was larger than it might have been if he didn't have this condition. So there was this enlarging of the skull with those who are hydrocephalic, and I believe that translates to water on the brain as well, or water in the skull. And then we have the opposite of that, which would be the small heads that are believed to be a result of this Zika virus. Can you comment your thoughts on the Zika virus?
Well, you know, all I can say is it's suspicious. Why do I say suspicious? Well, there's evidence that they already released GMO mosquitoes, of all things.
Yeah.
Why on earth would you even think about genetically modifying a mosquito? I mean, insanity is still insanity. And when you think you could take an insect that is already dangerous and change it with GMO, it's slightly worse than Frankenstein at work. I don't trust anybody who would even go near that. There's good evidence that that was part of it. The second is, these things always come up like this. It makes me wonder if the evil empire is behind it. I don't know. I don't like to feel that everything's a conspiracy, but everything is.
Well, my thought, I was highly suspicious of this as well. How does this happen? And, you know, my first thoughts are it got out of the lab, either intentionally or accidentally or through carelessness or some means. You know, this was engineered and it escaped somehow. I mean, that was my initial thought. What a horrible condition to give someone, right?
Well, AIDS has been under that suspicion since the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about at least 35 years there. The evil empire has no limits and no common sense. It is purely slightly worse than Dr. Dracula.
I was reading this story about this 10-year-old boy who was given a swine flu injection or a swine flu immunization shot. He developed narcolepsy. Now he wants to sleep all the time. And he was awarded a settlement, or his parents were, to take care of him. But now we have a child who wants to sleep all the time. So they've robbed this child of his ability to be productive in society. Just one more example. When we come back, Dr. Shealy, let's talk about how your height affects your health.
How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
As if chlorine in our water weren't bad enough, now they're adding ammonia?
It's true. Some municipalities are now adding ammonia plus chlorine to your water supply. It's a disinfectant called chloramine. But with a trusted Big Berkey water filter, you can keep chloramine out of your water. New NSF EPA certified lab tests show EPA Berkey water filters remove chloramines, pharmaceuticals, BPA, pesticides, bacteria and viruses, all forms of fluoride, and much more. Big Berkey water filters are the original and most trusted on the market. The gold standard in water purification. And our filters last for years at less than 2 cents per gallon. Big Berkey, the one that's powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. Get your Big Berkey today. Call 1-877-99-BERKEY or click BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. That's 1-877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a Select Quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I impartially shopped the highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $26 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 1-800-403-4885. That's 1-800-403-4885. 1-800-403-4885. Or go to SelectQuote.com. We shop, you save. Get full details in the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your price can vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Attention USA Prepares listeners. When you're on the road or have limited data or Wi-Fi, now you can listen to USA Prepares unfiltered and untapped at no extra charge on this non-federal phone number, 1-605-477-3249. Try it now to listen to USA Prepares 24/7 at no extra cost or data charges. These are not on federal lines. These are lines located on Indian reservations off the grid. Call 1-605-477-3249. No smartphones or internet needed. To hear USA Prepares untapped and off the grid, just call 1-605-477-3249.
Are you worried about your mom or dad living alone in their house? Hi, I'm Joan London. Listen, I know how difficult it is to find senior care for someone you love. That's why I recommend a free service called A Place for Mom. They are the nation's largest senior living referral service. Call A Place for Mom today.
To receive free information on senior living communities in your area, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-704-6182.
A Place for Mom offers free one-on-one advice from local advisors and a personalized list of senior living communities you can visit. If you have questions about senior care for your mom or dad, there's a place for answers, A Place for Mom.
Call A Place for Mom in the next 10 minutes to get your free ebook on financing senior care as well as free information on senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-704-6182. That's 1-800-704-6182.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states.
Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
Class Dr. Norman Shealy is with us, and if you'd like to go to his website, normshealy.com, NORMSHEALY.com. Dr. Shealy, I'm hearing more about PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, and you know, a lot of this disorder, or a lot of people who have this disorder, have had military experience. They used to call it shell shock and so forth, and so our government, I believe, is responsible for causing this problem, this very, very serious problem with a lot of our young men and women who have been led into combat and who've experienced these explosions and these terrifying situations. And I know of a company that counsels people who have PTSD. And I'm wondering, and I believe that this company's existence is because the government sends people there for treatment. Is it possible, Dr. Shealy, to treat someone with post-traumatic stress disorder just by counseling, or would it require more than just talking?
Well, I think in general, psychotherapy is slightly better than drugs, but not for something as serious as post-traumatic stress disorder. The two things that will work best are air bliss, which works almost instantly, and the LIST cranial stimulator, which can take up to a week, although it begins to have effects very quickly. They also need magnesium, of course. They need vitamin D3. They need high doses of B-complex. And they may need the best form of psychotherapy, which is past life therapy.
And You're talking about past life regression, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I've had that. Dr. Shealy, you've done that with me, and that was very interesting, and I shared that experience, that 1 hour past life regression with our meetup group. I showed that video, and it's quite fascinating how I was this farmer and a guerrilla fighter in what was believed a war, possibly the Revolutionary War, possibly a war that we're fighting right now. Very, very, very fascinating. Okay, and magnesium lotion, air bliss are two of the thoughts that you have
LISS cranial stimulator, LISS cranial stimulator.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and let's see, I'm looking at some of the questions I have. Dr. Shealy, to get a doctor's appointment today is difficult. To see a doctor, I've been on the phone, and what they want is a referral from another doctor. They want lab reports, and most importantly, Dr. Shealy, they want to know what kind of insurance you have.
Well, I can understand that, Vince, because I refuse to take insurance. There is no circumstance under which I am willing to put up with that nonsense. I opted out of it in the late 90s.
And are more doctors opting out of that?
Very few. Very few. But, you know, ever since Obamacare came in, it has become a crisis. It's the guy with the low IQ created this.
You're talking about Barack Obama, Barry Soetoro. Yeah. Dr. Shealy, do you have any final thoughts for this broadcast on what you'd like to share with our broadcast classroom?
Yeah, your number one responsibility is for you. You are responsible for taking care of yourself. That means physically, chemically, nutritionally, in every conceivable way. Take care of yourself so that you will have the energy to help other people. That's the critical thing.
There you go. Dr. Shealy, please be careful on your travels. During the next couple of weeks, we will certainly miss you, and we look forward to seeing you again here on usapreparedness.com, dispensing your medical advice and opinions. Thank you so much, Dr. Shealy. Class, above all, honesty and integrity. What happens next is up to you.
By now you know that usapreparedness.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm, we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? usapreparedness.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit usapreparedness.com. That's usapreparedness.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. usapreparedness.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
What would your life be like if you woke up each morning with new vitality, feeling better than you have in years, and you noticed a difference in your sleeping patterns, blood sugar levels, and had a sense of well-being overall? There's something that is changing thousands of people's lives, and you could be one of them. It's called Heart and Body Extract. Sharon Harris, co-creator of Heart and Body Extract, talks about the positive effects of Heart and Body Extract.
What happens with the formula Heart and Body Extract is it's giving the body the necessary vitamins, minerals, amino acids, enzymes, and phytonutrients so the body will heal itself. And yes, the body does have the ability to balance blood pressure, balance cholesterol, clean and unclog the arteries. It can also work on balancing the circulation for diabetics. So the body is an amazing thing. It simply needs some help so it has the tools to heal itself.
Heart and Body Extract gets results. To order your 2-month supply, call now, toll free at 866-295-5305. Order online at hbextract.com.